Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. To an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you far away now.
Minneapolis poet. We can't hear you. No microphone. Microphone.
Got it? Okay. The prelude this morning was requested by Reverend Arthur in memory of Renee Nicole Good, Minneapolis poet, mother, wife, and daughter. Renee was unalived by an ICE agent in Minneapolis on Wednesday. Renee was a kind, compassionate, loving woman whose loss will be felt by many. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to those of you who are here in this sanctuary with us, and welcome to those of you joining us online. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Fort Myers. It is our mission to love, grow, and serve for and with our community. Our Unitarian Universalist faith places love at the center of our shared values. And love is the power that brings us together. We are a community made up of people who love on our own terms, express gender in our own ways. We are all sizes and abilities. We share all of our ethnic backgrounds, and we celebrate our differences as we do our similarities. At UUCFM, we practice community as a verb. This emphasizes the action of building and practicing and engaging with a community. We believe in the dynamic aspect of community, calling for participation rather than showing up as a static group. Practicing community in this way is how we are called to radical hospitality for all. Practicing community in this way means that we embrace our whole selves. We ask no questions about your origins or status, and we respect each other's pronouns. Here we come together, drawn by our shared values, into a community that makes us greater than we are individually. If you are seeking a welcoming place to call home, to worship in your own way, to seek truth together, we hope that you will find it within our congregation. I am Andrea Joy, and it is my pleasure to be your worship associate here in our beautiful sanctuary, with Reverend Arthur Jones III joining us from that joyful place of Disney a little bit later. I am honored to serve as the current president of the Board of Trustees, which is how I serve my community, my home, and my family. Creating beautiful music for us this morning are our music director, John Dalton, our organist, Jeff Letts, way in the back there, our violinist, Leslie Peterson, and our growing and mighty choir. Providing sound, lights, and Zoom are our amazing tech team, who will be performing the magic that will bring Reverend Arthur to us via Zoom, and who make this hybrid service, blending live and Zoom attendance, possible. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. If you are attending via Zoom, I am so pleased that you are able to be with us in the virtual. Our announcements this morning. Our non-cash sharing partner is Eva's Closet. Their mission is to provide assistance to people in need, regardless of situation or circumstance, without judgment. They fulfill this mission by serving more than 1,500 individuals each month who are suffering from homelessness, poverty, and other risk factors in Southwest Florida. They provide necessities to clients at no cost with grace, honor, and respect. The congregation can help by donating the items that they most need: blankets, diapers, hygiene items, and laundry soap. We would also like to encourage that we find ways to contribute our time with our sharing partners, all of our sharing partners throughout the year. So consider finding ways in which you can connect with Eva's Closet to spend some volunteer time that they might need. We invite you to join us for coffee and conversation after the service in Hobart Hall, to your right as you leave the sanctuary. Today's coffee hour is hosted by CUPS, the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. If you are interested in learning more about earth-based religions, please talk to one of our wonderful hosts during the coffee hour. There is also a social justice table in Hobart Hall. This is an info table with social justice information about our various community sharing partners, as well as our t-shirts for sale. And it would be nice if you had a t-shirt to wear to join us on January 19th for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade. The MLK Peace March and Parade beginning at 10 a.m. from Dunbar Jupiter Hammond Library, leading to a community celebration at Calusa Sound Amphitheater for music vendors and activities. Join the Social Justice Committee and other members of UUCFM in showing our support with this March for Peace on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Wear your purple UUCFM t-shirt, and you can get one in Hobart Hall if you don't have one. We also have a wonderful Right to Read library open every Sunday following the service, located at the end of our offices to the left as you exit. Discover our great contemporary collection of books on issues associated with diversity, equity, and inclusion, LGBTQ+, pagan, UU, and other spiritual subjects, and some banned books also. Check out the library and check out a book. Our cash community sharing partner for the month, Visuality, will be hosting a spaghetti supper in Hobart Hall on January 25th. If you would like to volunteer, please see Mary Peabody. And at this time, I would like to ask Diane Bothfield to come up and speak about stewardship. And that mic should be live.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Diane Bothfield, and I'm glad to speak to you this morning on behalf of the Stewardship Committee about our three big activities happening in the first 3 months of 2026. We've got an auction, we've got the Campaign of Love Pledge Drive, and we've got Las Vegas Night. Oh, it's going to be a big 3 exciting months in the beginning of 2026. In January, right now, we are looking for donations for the auction. Some people have already donated. We have some wonderful items. We're arranging flowers. We're having a tarot card reading. We have a beautiful shawl. We have gift certificates for different activities and tickets to plays, but we're looking for more. The theme of the auction is art, service, culture, and more. So if you have something you'd like to donate to this auction, I will have a table, smaller than the social justice table, but I will have a table in Hobart Hall as well with donation forms for all of you. Think about your talents, think about what service you can provide, but there are so many exciting things and so many talents within this congregation. Donate now. And then in February, bid. But we'll concentrate on January for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I call us to worship this morning with a quote from Adrienne Marie Brown from her book, Pleasure Activism. Pleasure reminds us to enjoy being alive and on purpose. Pleasure, embodied, connected pleasure, is one of the ways we know that when we are free. We are always free. That we always have the power to co-create the world. Pleasure helps us move through the times that are unfair, through grief and loneliness, through the terror of genocide, or days when the demands are just overwhelming. Pleasure heals the places where our hearts and spirits get wounded. Pleasure reminds us that even in the dark, we are alive. Pleasure is the medicine for the suffering that is absolutely promised in life. Pleasure is the point. Feeling good is not frivolous. It is freedom. As we light our chalice, the symbol of our faith, a faith that marked some of the bravest acts of resistance in history, I share these words by Reverend Michelle Collins. Welcome, all who are restless for a world renewed. We come carried by ancestors who refused the silence of despair and dared to sing a new song. Their courage whispers through us still. Today, we resist by showing up together. We resist by keeping faith with what is not yet. Our gathering is itself an act of sacred dissent, calling us to rise and unite as co-creators of a freer tomorrow. Please rise as you are able and let us share our covenant with each other. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I'd like to preface this reflection, story, whatever you'd like to consider this reading, with a little bit of an explanation. Some of you know, many may not yet know, that my daughter and grand princesses all moved up to South Dakota at the New Year. She had only informed me of the plan the day after Thanksgiving, and they left just days after Christmas. It's been a little difficult for me, and I had a difficult time here last Sunday during my Stones of Intention. As Reverend Arthur will be speaking to us from Disney, this was yet another reminder of the fact that I had yet to be able to go to Disney with my princesses. These are some ponderings from this past week or so that I wanted to share. A prayer in every stitch. At least that's my intention. I often use crochet to help focus during a meeting or something that I'm listening to. The stitches still hold a prayer. I'll send it to her and hope it keeps her warm, that she can feel the prayers in those stitches. I look around as I'm sitting here in my living room and see the large, brightly colored ball, stuffed animals. Sorry, I just lost my... Stuffed animals and a Miss Rachel doll that got left behind. The blue scavenger hunt game that they forgot to pack up when they left here that day. I keep finding the white rolled wool balls that were here for our snowball fights. And how funny it is that they don't have snow on the ground up there yet. I reclaimed my shelves that used to be filled with toys. It's nice to have that space back, to be able to put my singing bowls back out, the ceramic bowl she made me when she was a teen that serves as a chalice, and many things that were kept out of the reach of little fingers. I put clothes in the drawer that was their toy box, but I'm not sure that's helped much. That night I threw out toothbrushes and toothpaste. By the next time they're here, they'll be old and gross, and it was just too sad to see them there. Now my toothbrush looks lonely. Such a mixture of wanting to hide away all the things that remind, while wanting to hold onto them so tightly. It's funny that they don't have snow up there yet. I hope the girls get to see snow this year, since that's why they were so excited to move up there. Even though they don't have snow, it will get pretty cold up there. They will have special hats and scarves, in each one's favorite color, with a prayer in every stitch to keep them warm. This sense of being left feels similar to that sense of being abandoned sometimes. That happens when we think our guides or angels or that which we call divine hasn't been paying attention to us. I know I've felt that way a few times. We all probably have. That sense of longing for a connection you had before, but you can't quite grab a hold of it now. It's that tug in your heart, down to your soul. Then when you take a deep breath and center yourself in your heart center, you can find those little pieces left behind. When you grab a hold of them, you can climb your way back to connection. Making things to send to my beloveds reminds me of the desire to reconnect and all the ways that we find to bring that connection. Sometimes it's a simple slip stitch, and sometimes it's a complicated front post double crochet. But sometimes it's the meditation. Sometimes it's the fervent prayer. Sometimes it's just sitting and listening, holding on to your breath. Sometimes it's hearing that still small voice, the one that tells you to take time to allow yourself the process. It's time to rediscover the things you had to put down for a while. I could find some time to work on small projects that will connect me better with that still small voice. I could make time to watercolor and not have to worry about picking it all up because little fingers will be visiting. I wonder, does Creator feel that the painting needs to be put away, the creating set aside, because tiny fingers have gotten themselves into a mess? With our theme of practicing resistance, I challenge us to think about ways that we can resist. Now, we can resist by marching on MLK Day right here in Fort Myers. I can resist the sadness, the sense of being abandoned, with pleasure activism. I can feel the joy of creating things for those I love. We can find the joy in the little things all around us that help us to reconnect with that which is greater than, the source of all things, that universal light. Let us practice resistance by connecting with each other and joining our strengths together. A prayer in every stitch. One of the ways we share of ourselves and share our bond with one another is the sharing of the stones of intention. Here we are able to blend our unique joys and sorrows, prayers for ourselves and others, and intentions for our futures, with those of others in our beloved community. Mingling and sharing all of our collective energies brings the power of love and caring to and from our congregation. If you have a stone with you this morning, I invite you to hold that stone close to your heart, focusing on what you pray for, placing that intention in your stone. If you do not already have a stone, you can find one in the baskets next to the bowls, knowing that you are joining with others in this beloved community. For our virtual attendees, you can place a virtual stone of intention by using the Zoom chat box. I would like to place the first stone for the joy of the activism that our faith stands for. Please come forward to share your stones. Now I would like to place final stones in loving memory of Renee Nicole Good. May her family know peace and love. For all those who are feeling loss of any sort, pain of any sort, may we always find those tiny bits of joy that walk beside those feelings. And for all that is left unsaid in our hearts. And now, coming to you live from Disneyland, Reverend Arthur.
Well, hello there, beloveds. For those of you who do not know me, I am the Reverend Arthur L. Jones III, the minister of this wonderful house of worship. And as you can see by the Toy Story headpiece I am currently wearing, I have been chosen. I'm coming to you live from Tower 6 on the 12th floor of the Bonnet Creek properties here at Disney. So as I customarily say, Grand Rising, good Sunday morning, and greetings to each and every one of you from Disney World in Orlando, also known as the happiest place on earth. I am very happy to be with you virtually this morning, and I want to thank everyone who made that possible. I can assure you that this is live. The time is currently 11 a.m. on the dot. This is not Memorex. If you are too young to remember those Memorex cassette commercials that used to run on TV from the 1970s and 80s that ran so frequently, it's because I'm old and you're not. As you know, I am here at Disney with my family, Jenny, Davy, and Harriet Hazel. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are here. My sister-in-law is also here, and she's running a Disney marathon right about now. My wife and the baby Scones are out on the running course cheering her on. I always thoroughly enjoy spending time at any and all of the Disney properties. Having been here since late Friday, I have observed a few things over the last couple of days. First, the vast majority of the attendees of the Disney theme parks can be seen wearing some sort of Disney-themed article of clothing, a hoodie, a t-shirt, a baseball cap, a tracksuit, a sweatshirt, Disney socks, running shoes, a blouse, a dress, a skirt, something. I don't know if that's some unspoken norm or some unwritten rule, but it is honored by most people who visit here on a continuous basis. Perhaps it is a form of love language. Perhaps it is part of an informal, voluntary uniform of joyfulness. Perhaps the Disney-themed merchandise worn by the attendees is a silent tribute to all things Disney. However you view it, the people visiting these Disney theme parks look good. The postmodern world in which we live is either a beautifully serene mosaic or a simmering dumpster fire, depending on the circumstance, the date, the time, and the community. Now more than ever, it behooves you to keep your head on a swivel, It is so important to protect your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul, and even your personal space. These days, there is so much negativity, so much hatred, so much confusion, and so much bad vibrational energy coming from all directions. It's almost enough to make anybody want to turn out their lights and curl up in a fetal position under their bed. So I find myself thinking about Disney World. I find myself thinking about all the smiling faces, all the people laughing, all the delicious food, the family, the fun that permeates this place. There is no bickering here, no fighting, no voices raised in anger, no division, no isms, no warfare. As naive as it may sound, how wonderful would it be if every neighborhood, every community, in every town or city, in every nation, looked and felt and operated like the happiest place on earth? What if every place was a place of plenty instead of scarcity? What if everyone, everywhere, was happy to see or speak or interact with everyone else? What if everyone, every place, was treated as a valued member of the Equity Club, with all rights and privileges therein universally confirmed and affirmed? Riddle me this. What if there was a spiritual hazmat suit or a suit of protective clothing or an integrated uniform one should wear today and tomorrow and every day that could enable him or her to better navigate the trials, tribulations, and temptations of this world? What if you could actually dress for success? What if your attire facilitated your practice of resistance? If you like the sound of that, then I have good news. There is, in fact, such an attire readily available to each and every one of us, regardless of faith tradition, age, political affiliation, national origin, socioeconomic bracket, gender orientation, ethnicity, or social location. This very special haute couture I have been referring to is, of course, divine armor. Now, you cannot order divine armor from Amazon. You will not find it at a shelf at Target. Thankfully, this armor is not the product of any country's military industrial complex. This armor is available to anyone via prayer, via intention, via affirmation. All you have to do is first claim it, name it, then claim it. Divine armor comes as a complete set with count them, six different fully integrated components. So what are these components? What are they called? How do they work? And most importantly, is there a warranty available? With those questions at the forefront of your minds, today's sermon is entitled Practicing Resistance While Dressed for Success, Part 1. Practicing Resistance While Dressed for Success, Part 1. Please allow me to lift up 3 points for your spiritual consideration. First point, put on your belt of truth if you want to be dressed for success. So the first component of divine armor, in no particular order, is the belt of truth. Imagine wearing a translucent belt around your waist that constantly reminded you to speak the truth, to deal with everyone you encounter honestly in all things, to live your life with integrity. And when I say integrity, I mean that word in the sense of your conducting your business decently and in order, day and night, publicly and privately, secure in the knowledge that the divine is always watching you and always listening to you. If every human being everywhere wore the belt of truth every day, a lot of this world's problems would be immediately solved. The isms, racism, ageism, sexism, ableism, and whataboutism, just to name a few, would all melt away like ice cubes in a microwave oven because truth eradicates lies. And all those societal plagues are based on stereotypes, lies, fears, and fictitious social constructs. Our individual belts of truth would also make our local communities global communities just like that. What a bodacious belt. When you wear it around your waist, you will not be able to bear witness to abuse or suffering of any kind being imposed upon any man, any woman, or any child without saying something or doing something in their defense. With this belt on your person, you would be unable and unwilling to see wrongdoing occurring in your presence and just pretend to not see it or pretend to not hear it. With this belt, you would be compelled to speak truth to power because that would come as naturally to you as breathing oxygen. The expression trust your gut takes on a whole new meaning when you think about the belt of truth because you know truth. Truth looks right, it sounds right, smells right, and feels right. That brings me to my second point. Wear your breastplate of righteousness if you need to feel dressed for success. A second component of divine armor is the breastplate of righteousness. Imagine wearing an invisible vest around your chest and torso that also covered your back. And imagine that vest constantly reminding you of the absolute necessity of love. Think of it as spiritual Kevlar. What if you were prompted to view every single day as yet another gift, another opportunity to love and to be loved by others? What if you could love without fear of rejection or heartache or heartbreak? What if you were immune, largely, to loneliness? And what if you could radiate love immensely towards nature and plants and animals and places and memories in addition to people? The breastplate of righteousness enables you to do all of those things and so much more. Putting on that breastplate will change the game because putting on that breastplate will change you from the inside out. It will turbocharge your ability to sympathize and empathize. It will magnify your attraction to peace and justice and order. It will facilitate your love of life and the fullness therein. Your heart is precious beyond measure. It is unique. It is your living, breathing, beating connection to the Most High. You are connected to the divine through your heart. We are connected to each other through our hearts. Therefore, like all great treasures, our heart must be protected. It must be guarded. The key to living a holy life, a noble life, a life well lived is your heart, my heart, our heart. Remember the saying, to err is human, to forgive is divine. It's true. It always has been true, and it always will be true. And that brings me to my third and final point. Please don't forget to wear your shoes made from the gospel of peace to make sure that you are successfully dressed. A third component of divine armor are the shoes made from the gospel of peace. Listen up, ladies. Focus up, gentlemen. Imagine wearing a transformative pair of shoes upon your feet that conveyed peace. Inner peace for you, profound peace for your friends, family members, neighbors, colleagues, fellow congregants, members of the community, acquaintances, total strangers, and yes, even your enemies. What if you generated peace like a radio tower all day, every day, all night, every night, everywhere you went, everywhere you were, upon everything you looked at or thought about or touched? In other words, imagine yourself blessing a street simply by walking on said street. Imagine yourself blessing an entire neighborhood or a community simply by being there. Are you with me? Do you understand? Because I'm talking about you being steady and ready. This much is true. You cannot give to others anything that you do not have for yourself first. You cannot loan someone $100,000 if you do not have $100,000. The same can be said of peace. In order to promote it to others, you must first possess it for yourself. Only then can you share that precious gift. Inner peace is power, and power resides in inner peace. Forget about corns and forget about bunions. With these peace-powered shoes upon your feet, there are no obstacles in your path because you are the path. As James Brown famously sang so loud and so proud, let me get on the good foot. Disney World is frequently called the happiest place on earth. It is advertised as such, and that may very well be true. I am not here to debate that. I am here, however, to humbly but firmly suggest that the happiest place on earth is also wherever you are. The happiest place on earth is actually wherever Ingrid Ellerby is, wherever Dave Metz is, wherever John Dalton finds himself to be. The happiest place on earth was wherever Renee Nicole Good was before she was senselessly taken from us last Wednesday. You are the gift. They are the gifts. And nobody can convince me otherwise. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are wonderful. These are facts. That is the truth. Don't let anybody anywhere say anything different. If you seek to be average, to be ordinary, to be mediocre, then do not wear the full armor of God. It will not fit you. But wearing the full armor of the divine will make all those desires all but impossible. So if you put on this armor, you will be bigger. You will be brighter. You will be your best self, guided and protected by your own guardian angels. When you wear divine armor, you know these things to be true. You thrive. You don't just survive. You achieve, not just believe. Wearing divine armor will not make your life perfect. I wish it did, but it won't. It doesn't. However, dressing for success will help you heal from being hurt just a little bit faster. Dressing for success will help you see the blessings hidden within times of trouble with a little more clarity. Dressing for success will also bestow upon you the added bonus of deeper friendships and relationships. I am not asking you to deliberately go get yourself arrested. I am not requesting that you willfully place yourself in harm's way. But I am asking you to care, to educate yourself on current events, to take a stand and make a plan to do something or say something to make some kind of difference. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to be a billionaire or a world famous influencer or a minister or a professional athlete to change the world. Just be you. Just do you. That is enough. That is more than enough. So listen to Coach. Put on that belt of truth. Don that breastplate of righteousness. Slip on those shoes made of the gospel of peace. Level up, brothers. Level up, sisters. As primetime Deion Sanders, the NFL Hall of Fame cornerback, so eloquently stated many years ago, when you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you play good. So hear me and hear me well. It is time for you, time for me, time for all of us to get ourselves into some good trouble. I love y'all. I miss y'all. That concludes part 1 of this sermon. Part 2 will be coming live to you from UUCFM next Sunday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. I will see you all there then. Aloha. Blessed be.
The world's religious traditions all value the practice of giving as part of spiritual life. We can give of our talents, the knowledge that we have to share. We can give of our time, volunteering to help others. And we can give at this time of our treasure. One of our UU values is generosity, and in that value of generosity is also gratitude. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope through our generosity. Through our community sharing partners, as a congregation, we express that spiritual value through our gifts of generosity. Magnified by our principle of love at the center, our generosity helps to support others in the greater community. Our cash sharing partner is Visuality. The mission of Visuality is to enhance and sustain the health and well-being of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus communities and allies by providing activities, programs, educational events, and services that create community, empower community members, provide essential resources, advocate for civil rights and human rights, and embrace, promote, and support our cultural diversity. They strive to end violence, harassment, and discrimination based on real or perceived sexual orientation, gender identity, or sexual expression. You can determine where you would like your funds to be designated, indicating it on your check or envelope, or in the drop-down menu if you're donating electronically. All loose funds in the collection will be donated to our sharing partner. Now, if you want to show support for UUCFM's congregational programs and you don't already have an envelope, envelopes can be found at the end of the pews, and unmarked envelopes will be designated for UUCFM. Loose funds to Visuality. Please reflect on what this congregation and our work in the larger community mean to you and give generously. All gifts are received with great gratitude.
As
Please rise as we share our words of gratitude. By the work of our hands and the work of our hearts, our love is made real. May we be grateful for all that is given and grateful for all that is shared. As we extinguish the chalice, I would like to share more words by Reverend Michelle Collins. Leave this place with hope rekindled, not as wishful thinking, but as stubborn practice. In a world drenched with despair, choose joy. Choose action. Choose to believe another way is possible and live as if it's already breaking through. The flame is extinguished, but we know that courage doesn't live in a chalice. It lives in what you do next. Choose well. The world is waiting. Thank you, Marge. Thank you, Marge. Sorry, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. I'd like to leave you with this thought this morning. As we leave the sanctuary, whether you are joining us for coffee in Hobart Hall, or you're going out to breakfast, lunch, brunch, or just going home, let us work towards making every place the happiest place. Let us work every day and every moment towards making this world into that beloved community that we envision. May we find that in that work, we are able to kindle the connection to that spirit of life that guides us, that shows us our purpose. As you head out into the world, remember to wear your divine armor and carry the light of our chalice, our beacon of hope, wherever you go. As always, it is wonderful to see all of you, and I hope that you will join us again next Sunday. Now let's go gather for coffee and conversation.